So, alright, so first and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Makakodash. We see double and apostles and elders agreements on the well of teachers, apostles in the truth, and we see salutations, so they are coming to the pushing word and on truth and sincerity day in and day out, and constantly in season of season. We say Shalom. And once again, good entire video here in this basically touching upon acknowledging the Lord. Because if it's one thing we're supposed to do, it's acknowledging the Lord in all our ways. Because if you're saying you believe in the Lord and you trust in the Lord, you know, some people that say, you know, I believe in the Lord, dang, and you know how they is given, especially people in Christianity, how they just act. And so when they hear them speak, you could swear that everything that they're doing in their life, they will be acknowledging the Lord in every aspect and in every way, which they don't. But it's such an important thing that we have to be acknowledging the Lord, no matter what it is, no matter where we are, no matter the things that we're doing, and all the things that we're doing, in matter of fact. You know, for example, we coming up to, as I said in countless of videos I've said over the past few weeks, that we coming up to the time of Carnival. Now, when you go and look up what Carnival is a time of heavy about autopaid face, a time of heavy abominations that be taking place. And the whole festival is abomination, just like, for example, just like many other holidays that they have upon this place, right? But this one is great. You know, so when it comes to abominations, it's great. You know, is a you know, just the word carne alone means flesh, right? So you get to understand where it go back to festivity of the flesh, and a lot of stuff does be going on, like idolatry, you understand. A lot of sins does be taking place. Now it would have people that who is going to celebrate these things because the so-called deem it their culture, so they have to take part in it, and they would not acknowledge the Lord. Because again, as the word acknowledge means here, it means accept or admit the existence or truth of. It says recognize the importance or quality of, right? It says show that one has noticed or recognized someone by making a gesture or greeting. It says confirm, right? It says acknowledge and confess. It says to confess. So acknowledge means to confess, right? And we know that everything that we do, we're supposed to be confessing Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? In all our ways, no matter what it is, we have to. That is why we stay away from certain things, because staying away shows that you're acknowledging the Lord, and doing certain stuff shows that you're acknowledging the Lord, right? It's a what is the full meaning of acknowledge? It's a verb used with object. It's acknowledging. It's a to admit to be real or true. It's a recognize the existence, truth or fact of. To acknowledge one mistakes, to show or express recognition. It's a to show or express recognition or realization of. To acknowledge the acquaintance by knowing, right? So it's basically confessing, to admit something is real, to admit something is true, and you would have to show that you're acknowledging whatever it is you believe in, right? Because once you say you believe in the Lord, you have to show that you believe in the Lord, and that would go by what the things that they be doing, the things you may be putting forth, and many other stuff. But plenty of people, they don't there's deem like they're acknowledging the Lord, which they are not, right? They are not, because they would go and celebrate these things or do stuff that they're not supposed to do, and that just shows that you don't acknowledge the Lord at all, right? It say if you acknowledge someone, for example, by moving your hand or smiling, you show that you have seen and recognized them. He saw her but refused to even acknowledge her, right? But again, when you go back to the old thing, it means to confess, and that is what we have to do. We know we have to confess the Lord, right? Yeah. So this is going into the word confess. They say confess. They say admit that one has committed a crime or done something wrong. They say acknowledge. something reluctantly. You say declare. See, to declare, right? Say to declare. Say confess, so it's say to acknowledge, to declare, right? Right, so yeah. So let me bring the scripture here. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 1. It say, my son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. It say, for length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. It say, let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck, write them upon the table of thine heart. It says, so shall thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. So once you acknowledge in the Lord, as I say, my son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. So this will show you that would be a person that would be acknowledging the Lord. They wouldn't be hiding. They wouldn't be saying something and they're not doing it. You understand? Because it says, my son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. Right? And then it says, verse 5, it says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lead verse 4, it says, so shall thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. Right? So you see how important it is that you have to acknowledge the Lord, right? So going down, it says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding. Right? So it says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart. It says verse 6, and say, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Because it's such an important thing to follow the Lord, follow the ways of the Lord. You understand? And to acknowledge the Lord, right? Because no matter what it is, the commandments, the laws, right? These things, when they keep these things, it become when they keep the things that the Lord said to keep and do, and they go into it, you get to understand how important it is to keep these things. And when you stay away from the things the Lord said to stay away from, you get to understand what the reason why you're staying away from these things, right? So it say trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean unto thine own understanding. Say, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. So in all our ways we have to acknowledge the Lord, not by some, not a little bit, not here and there. In all thy ways we have to acknowledge the Lord, right? It say, be not wise in thine own eyes, fear the Lord and depart from evil. And depart, it says, be not wise in thine own eyes, fear the Lord and depart from evil. And that's what you have to do, right? It say, it shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones. It say, honor the Lord with thy substance and with the first fruit of all thine increase. So it says, so shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst out with new wine. Right? So, but going back to verse 6, as it say, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. So it's such an important thing to acknowledge in the Lord. Not in some ways, not here and there, but in all thy ways. Because now, as I say here, to recognize the importance or quality of. So acknowledging the Lord is to show the importance of having the Lord in your life. You understand? To recognize and, as I say, to accept or admit the existence or truth of. So acknowledging the Lord and following the things that the Lord said to do. Right? As I say, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. So in all thy ways, you're acknowledging the Lord. So you're admitting the existence of who? The Lord. You're showing that you believe in the Lord. Right? So it's such an important thing to acknowledge the Lord, not in some, not here and there, not saying you believe and then you're doing a whole set of abominable shit. Right? So then it is proven that you don't acknowledge the Lord if you're doing abominable stuff. It's showing that it's showing the choice that you make. It's showing that you don't believe in the existence of the Lord. Right? So always remember in everything that you're doing to acknowledge to acknowledge the Lord, right? So with that we give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yoshai, Ba'ashem Makakodash. We say them as apostles and elders of great and rebel teachers of apostles in the truth. And we say salutations, so they are pushing wood and truth and sincerity, day in and day out, and constantly in season and season we say Shalom.